Bradley Jacob, you are the founder and CEO of MyLance, found on the web at mylance.co. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Tell me a little bit high level about MyLance and how did this all become?
Mylance was born out of my own independent consulting journey. After Uber, I was wanting to go out on my own, but didn't know exactly what I wanted to do yet. And I really kind of fell into consulting and it blew me away about the money I could make and working part-time. It was fun to be the expert in the room helping these startups. And so saw this way of life that I really didn't know existed, and then saw the opportunity really that so many people were either already doing this or wanted to do it. And so Mylance was born out of a passion to really support these people working part-time, commanding their own rates, choosing their own clients, but not really being set up for success, whether it's finding new clients or all the back-end tools they need, bookkeeping, invoicing, admin, everything. And so now we've really specialized in helping independent consultants, fractional executives, small business owners find new clients more sustainably. We specifically focus on LinkedIn.
Talk about LinkedIn. I'm curious. We've all heard of it. We've all been on it. We all have opinions about it, but tell me how you leverage LinkedIn.
I mean, your customers on LinkedIn, it's just, they're there, right? And they might be scrolling, they might be posting jobs, they might be just looking for news, but they're there. And a lot of LinkedIn is, gets a bad rap for being this kind of clickbaity or spammy or people posting random stuff, but it doesn't matter what everybody else is posting. When you are posting genuine, authentic, value add content, right? What can I give? What can I give? What can I give? Over time, you end up building a relationship with the people that follow you. And you end up growing the awareness of people that haven't followed you yet. And so what ends up happening is you build this one-to-many relationship by showing up a few times a week from a content perspective. And it's basically free. I mean, yes, it's your time, but you can add new connections every week that are in your ideal customer. You can publish content and you can really build this relationship. So by the time you get on a call with them, they know you. They know who you are. They know what you stand for. They know how you help people. And it's almost like you're talking to a referral at that point. Like, it's not a cold inbound. I haven't had to introduce myself on a call in like 2.5 years. And you just can't buy that, right? It's like, if you're not posting on LinkedIn, I don't know how to help you. I'm like, how are you not? Like, it's so, to me, it's such low hanging fruit. And I know there's questions of what do I post and how do I make it consistent and the accountability. So we built a tool to help with that. But I've been posting every day for 5 years and it's been life-changing for me.
So if somebody's new, I mean, they know. I've read a stat somewhere not that long ago that, there's a lot of people on LinkedIn, but not a lot of people engaged in LinkedIn consistently. So if someone actually wanted to, I'm a big proponent of just creating small steps and creating that momentum. And I also love an MVP, a minimal viable product or solution. Like, what is the bare minimum for somebody who is, just the stalker on LinkedIn and they're just kind of, just checking it periodically, but they actually want to get engaged. Like, what do you think is a good MVP to get started with LinkedIn?
Yeah, I'll do like super bare minimum and then I'll do like
Mhm.
maybe one step past that.
Okay.
Super bare minimum is tell a story. Just share an experience you had at a past company where you learned something, added value, accomplished a goal, whatever it is. Right? I could tell the story of when we launched Uber in Raleigh and we were competing against Lyft and what did we learn and what mistakes did we make? Like, interesting story. All I'm doing is telling a story. Right? There's no call to action. There's no please hire me. There's no, it's not fancy. Just tell a story. And from the first person, right? Not you should do this. This is what I did.
Right.
So lowest hanging fruit, easiest MVP. It's like even before the MVP, just go tell a story and then tell another and tell another and tell another. The next level up from that would be write one sentence. Who's my customer? What are their pain points? How do I solve these pain points? Literally one sentence for each. This whole exercise could take you 10 minutes. Who's my customer? What are their pain points? What's my unique value add? And then from there, how can I tell stories or learnings, mistakes, wins, everything that hit on my customer's pain point? So it's the same idea of telling the story, or a case study or an interesting tidbit or whatever it is, what I learned. But you're more tailoring it to who your customer is so that when you're building trust, what I talked about earlier. You're building trust with the right people. I mean, that's what it ends up. If you write a post and you get tons of engagement, but it's not validating you and it's not with the right people, it doesn't really matter. Like, people always chase the likes and stuff, but if it's from the wrong people, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so short story, or the short answer is be able to tell a story without a call to action. So just put something out there that you've learned, spoken from the I, not from you need to do, but it's from an I standpoint. So that's kind of like just break in there and just tell a story. And then the other thing you said was, I like the simplicity of it. I love simple stuff. But who's your customer? What's their pain point? And what's my unique value add? Think about that and be able to share stories, case studies, things like that kind of support that in order to build trust with the right people. Is it really that easy?
It is. People overcomplicate this. I mean, truly, like, my most viral post, it got 700,000 impressions. And I told the story of Uber and Lyft in the early days of Raleigh and how we got 90%, Uber, 90% market share in 6 months. And here are the 5 key things we focused on that they didn't. And the post went crazy viral. And I wrote the whole thing in like 10 minutes. I mean, I was like, I had no idea, but it's an interesting inside look into a winning story told from the I point of view. And it makes it interesting. That's as simple. It really can be as simple as that.
Okay. So how many followers did you have? If you had 700,000 and it went viral that viewed it, do you already have like buckets of followers?
This was a few years ago. I'm at 24,000 now. I think I probably had half that, let's say maybe 12,000. So yeah, I had some followers already, but you don't need that for these posts to do well. And also, most of your posts are not going to go viral. And I shouldn't even emphasize that. Like, if each of your posts gets a few hundred or even 1,000 or 2,000 impressions and you're posting a few times a week, it's like most people, most independent consultants, fractional executive, even founders, if you're doing B2B, how many customers do you really expect to get from an organic channel every week, right? So if you're getting a few thousand impressions on genuine value-added content and you get a few of those trickle into your funnel every single day, every week, like, you're doing a pretty good job.
All right, so talk about the funnel piece. You just mentioned putting them into the funnel, so talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, LinkedIn's awareness and trust. You need a way to get them into your orbit, you want to say, right? So I like to think of it, if again, let's keep it simple. I want something where I can give you something for free and get your information, because LinkedIn is great, but you really want their email, right? So what can I give you for free that's in my area of expertise, that's a value add to you? Could be as simple as a newsletter. That's like the most common, easy one. It could also be, I'm going to give you a free audit on your website if I'm a marketing expert, or, for us, we do a LinkedIn audit. Like, I'm going to audit your LinkedIn profile. So it's a quick, easy, we use a lot of AI tools for that to make it simple on our end as well. But okay, so whatever you choose to give away for free, give away something for free in exchange for their email. Don't spam them, right? Like, deliver the thing that you said you were going to deliver. And then you have an opportunity to introduce value, whether it's yourself or your product. Say, are you interested in this? If not, no worries. I'll just send you my newsletter. If you are, I'll tell you more about it. And then there's a product page or something like that. But you just have to give them a way to get in touch with you. Now, if you really want simple, the simplest way is, here's my Calendly. I'll give you a free consult, right? Depending on what your business is, a free coaching call, a free strategy call, whatever it is. Just give away something for free and just have it linked in your LinkedIn. People are just going to book calls with you, and you have like sales calls just show up on your calendar. If you look at your LinkedIn profile, most people are getting, even doing very little, dozens, hundreds of visits on their profile a week. It's like, those are just leads ready to come in. So just give them an opportunity to get in touch with you. Like, make it really simple.
How do you pre-screen it? Because at some point you begin to get a lot of people that reach out and they're pitching you rather than trying to help, and the roles get reversed. So how do you pre-screen some of those just to make sure that, that it's the best use of everybody's time and not just they're calling you to pitch?
Yeah. Good question. So I like to ask questions in the Calendly, right? Like, who are you? Or specifically, I'll ask, if we have a paid product, what's your willingness to pay to solve this problem, right? $0, $50, $100, $1,000. Like just ask straight up, like, do you have a budget for this? You can ask, what are you trying to get out of this call? Like, what are you hoping to get out of it? I always ask that. And then you can basically go look and you can cancel meetings, right? Like if you're at the point where you're having too many people book or they're just trying to sell you, you can very politely say, like, this was not a call to be sold to. Happy to chat another time if my offer makes sense down the road. It's like people know what they're doing if they're doing that. And so I have my VA look at everything. So if you have a VA, you can just have them screen and make sure you're set up for, using your time well. Or you can just look at it yourself if you don't.
Yeah. Well, they sneak in there every once in a while. So
they
I'm
do.
always wondering.
I have people just throw events on my calendar and I was just like, this is so inappropriate. It is beyond me. I just delete them right away. I'm like, you can ask my permission. I can say yes or no, but don't just throw an invite on anyone's calendar. I mean, that's poor form.
Yeah. It's, it grows to be a little frustrating and makes it hard. So, what other, I guess, strategies or ideas do you have for these professionals that are wanting to find those aligned clients on LinkedIn? Any other ideas or any other kind of thoughts, ideas around that?
Yeah, I mean, content is not enough in and of itself. And so I tell people you need to be adding new connections every single day. Like at minimum every week, right? You can add, depending on your social selling index on LinkedIn, you can add about 100 new connections every week. So it's 400 a month. And LinkedIn is the only social media platform that I know of that when you add someone and they accept it, they're automatically following you back. Right? Instagram, I have to follow you and then you follow me back.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, it's automatic. So you have to be growing your network every single day, every week with the right people. Like be thoughtful in who you're adding. So, and it's kind of this beautiful 1-2 punch of where you're adding new people that you want to be clients. And then you're creating content that builds that trust, builds awareness, builds that relationship. And you're kind of, growing, building trust, growing, building trust, growing, building trust. Like I have 24,000 followers. My guess is I have added over the last 5 years, 90% of those myself. Those aren't people searching Bradley or just like randomly showing up in their feed. I mean, some of them are, but the majority of them, I'm going in and saying, hey, I want to connect with you because you're in my ideal audience and I can add value to you. So add new connections, create the content, and then see who's engaging with your content. Right? The people that are liking, the people that are commenting, I mean, spend like an hour a week just combing through those people, seeing who's a potentially good fit and reaching out. Hey, nothing like the truth. I saw you comment on my post. We'd love to chat and see if there's an opportunity to support each other. Right? You send like 7 to 10 of those a week, you're going to get a few sales calls from it. So very quickly with very little effort, we had a guest on our podcast. Her pipeline is $1.4 million of value in the pipeline in 4 months of only these strategies. That's it. That's all she's done. She's created content, she's added new connections, and she's engaged with the people who have engaged with her. That's it.
So are you using any kind of AI or anything or scheduler to be able to post some of the stuff on LinkedIn, or what have you found to be helpful in that aspect?
I frankly built my own tool that I wanted. And so basically what it does is it uses your ideal customer and all the information we talked about. We do it a little bit more robust way than the simple version you asked for, but it's the same idea. Right. It's building a content calendar. It's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, post this, 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 and this, and this. And it gives the prompts. Basically, it's like, tell this story, share this experience, whatever it is. And then I'll have the AI draft the post using usually a transcript that I've already recorded. So like from our podcast, I have all of my language. So it's using already my voice. It's not making up its own voice. And then I'll go in and I'll fine tune it. I'll finish it. I like never post just AI generated, even if it's using my transcript. And then I schedule them out. Yeah. So I'll just schedule them out for the whole week and then on Monday and not worry about it. So yeah, scheduling tool. I use our own tool for the content generation, which is the prompts, AI drafting. And then we have an analytics piece in there that's looking at what's working and what's not working. So it'd be like, tell more stories like this, or tell them in this fashion, tell less of this. This isn't working as well, length, all those kinds of things.
So for that type of service, are there since I'm gonna go back to like an MVP type thing, is there an MVP trial period to see if those metrics improve or stay the same versus the current process that's been in place for a while?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, the answer is no, and partially because we need to get for our prompts to be really great for you. We need to know who's your customer, what are their pain points, what's your unique value add, and so we put in quite a bit of effort up front. Like we do a whole positioning exercise with every customer, and we don't charge extra for that. That's just like wrapped into the first month. And so if someone comes in for a month, pays for it, gets their positioning exercise, and then doesn't like the product, they've still gotten frankly way more value than the first month costs. So they could, they could cancel at that point. Like we don't sign people into long contracts or anything. But the answer is no. Like we do that work up front, so we get paid for that work. It's not expensive, but we charge something for it. And we've never had anyone leave in the first month anyway, but they could theoretically.
Tell me, okay, so you mentioned that you were with Uber, obviously different than working for yourself. Talk about what the biggest mindset shifts are going from that corporate life to building more of a sustainable consulting business.
I mean, there's a lot. I think there's a lot that comes up.